365 days ago, I quit my job, but the story doesn't start there. Let me take you back. Okay, well, this is a little bit crazy, but welcome to New York City. We made it to Berlin, Stockholm. We're at the airport right now on the way to Venice.
We're in Bern right now.
Welcome to Zurich. We just got here about an hour ago.
Swiss Alps behind me are just pink right now. Welcome to very cloudy and gloomy Amsterdam.
Look, I know you're probably wondering what the hell does this have to do with me quitting my job? And to that I would say more than you think. You see, in 2022, I went traveling, and it was during these 6 months that I kind of really figured out how I wanted to live my life from there onwards. And that was on my own terms. I didn't want to be defined by a job title. I definitely didn't want to be locked into a company. That's something I'd always known, but over those 6 months in 2022, it really cemented it in my mind. Fast forward to 2023, I gave freelancing a go. I came home from travels, I was like, cool, let's give freelancing a go. It didn't work. It failed very quickly. Come March of that year, I was really struggling for income. I was living at home, so fortunate enough, and I got a full-time job basically off the back of a contract that started out as an original 3-month fixed freelancing contract, and it ballooned into a 1.5 years of work. And I really don't think I regret that decision. Having a full-time job alongside your business or alongside something you eventually want to branch out into and do is so crucial, because it allows you to take the stress away from it and the monetary side of it, and you can take all the money you make from that side hustle or that thing and pump it straight back into the business. For me, it was buying gear. I spent the most of 2023 recovering from my travels because I spent basically everything that I had, and buying gear and getting an emergency fund going, really settling myself financially. So fast forward to 2024, and I knew for a fact I wanted to quit my job at the end of 2024, but I decided 6 months into it to quit it early. And we're now sitting here a year later, 1 whole year freelancing, and I couldn't be prouder. There's a fish that just jumped behind me. I'm gonna kind of share everything that worked, all the stuff that didn't work, and where we're gonna go next. Starting out, I kind of knew what to expect because I had been freelancing on the side. So in September, things started off pretty decently. I went traveling throughout the Transkei. I made a video about that. And in late October, I landed my first huge deal with a client. And that was to shoot a multitude of events in and around the country, namely Belito Rage and Rage Festival. So if you know, you know. So from December right up until March, it was kind of all hands on deck. I shot for a multitude of clients in various different industries. I think the favorite being shooting for Rocker Media, shooting Bafana at the DHL Stadium in Cape Town, being in the changing room, behind the scenes, on a team bus, shooting their first game in the city in 9 years was absolutely incredible. And also being flown around for client shoots. Never in my life had I been flown around for client work in any sort of way. So doing it 22 times in a year was a hell of an achievement for me. So I've spent an enormous amount on gear this year, and I think I don't regret anything as of yet. I've bought some of my dream pieces, one of them being a 70-200 Sony G Master lens. The client work that has allowed me to produce is absolutely incredible, and I think that's the thing with gear. Like, it's an investment, it opens doors. Having the right kit can change your career by far, and for me it certainly has. Alright, some of the OGs might remember this spot. Exactly a year ago to the day, I shot my first video, which I'm following this video up with. As a freelancer and as someone who kind of combines their passion with work, things can get tricky and the lines can get blurred very easily. And the freedom to choose can be such a blessing and a disguise at the same time. In terms of a blessing, it's great because I don't have to take leave to go to the doctor. I don't have to take leave if I want to do a little bit of travel in and amongst July. That has been such a blessing. I've been able to buy back my time in that sense. But it's also come with a huge negative side effect, and that is the freedom to choose when you work. It can get very tricky when you are quiet because you just tend to struggle to stick to a routine and you struggle to wake up on certain times because you don't have much work to do, but you do have a little bit, and no one's there to wake me up, which is the biggest thing I've learned, is that you need to stick to some sort of sleep schedule, because as I said, no one's there to wake up in the morning. I can sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning if I wanted to, but I won't, because I'm sticking to my schedule and I'm sticking to what keeps me going and keeps you working in those certain hours. But I think overall, 2022 Luke will be very, very happy as to where 2025 Luke is right now. Alright, so looking forward, there's a couple things. Number one is I plan to create an agency which allows me to work on way bigger projects. And with that, I'll need help, so hence the creative agency. And then number two is I plan to share a lot more on socials and show up a lot more consistently. So hopefully we will see a lot more videos like this and many different types of content online. And then number three is travel. I need to get some international travel under my belt ASAP this year, and that's the plan. I've got a September trip coming up, which is to Asia. I've never even touched Asia, so that'll be great. A lot cheaper than Europe. But yeah, that's what's coming up for me in the future. And thank you for being a part of this journey. And to anyone out there looking to make that first step in their life towards that big goal or that big change, just do it. You wouldn't believe if I told you where that first step would take you and the doors it could open. But that's it for me for now, and I will see you in the future.